Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Leigh Fuge, and in this video today we're going to be talking about this really cool guitar I'm holding in my hands. This is the Squier FSR Bullet Stratocaster in a limited edition metallic purple. You don't see too many metallic purple bullet strats flying around, and you're probably not going to after this year because this is a super limited run that Fender have produced. This was inspired by Danish Pete. It's in this really cool metallic purple. The first batch of these has already sold out. This is one of the first batch of them. There is going to be another batch arriving in the UK probably towards the end of this year. So if you do want one of these, you're going to have to act pretty quick. Now you might instantly think a bullet strat is just a beginner's guitar, right? But I think Squier and Fender have really stepped the game up for this particular run. I can't speak for anything else in the current Bullet line, but honestly this is a seriously good guitar. Even though it costs £150, it's a lot of guitar for the money. It's actually more guitar than what it costs. Now of course, in this price range, there are going to be compromises. These pickups, they sound okay, but they're not the best. The electronics can be a little bit noisy. Those tuners, they're functional. Are they the best? Are they the most stable? Definitely not. The nut is pretty good. The fretwork is really good. There's no sharp edges on the neck. The only thing, and I don't know if you'll hear this properly over the camera, but there's a little scratchiness to those frets just where they haven't been polished out properly. But again, at this price point, you can't really complain about that. The fact that the fret edges are completely smooth, there's no sharp ends there, and the frets are pretty level. I did a quick check on it. The frets are probably the most level I've ever seen on a guitar in this price point. I can kind of forgive the scratchiness because I've got big plans for this guitar. At the moment, this is completely stock. Everything is as it is when it came out the box. I've even left those horrible factory strings on it. They're 9s as well, which is not nice. But I've already bought a bunch of parts to mod this thing up a little bit. I've got some new early 90s Fender pickups. I've got some new tuners on the way, some new electronic components, and a new nut. So this is going to be transformed a little bit. I'm going to do a bunch of cool things to it and see how far I can take it. And I know there's always going to be a few perils and pitfalls with taking a £150 guitar and probably spending more money on parts than what the guitar is worth. But I'm willing to take that chance because this is such a great neck and the body's cool and I love the colour. I think it'll be worth it. I think by the time I'm done with it, it will be a great guitar. But it's a great guitar anyway. I just think I can take it a little bit further. So anyone who's unfamiliar with the Bullet line, the Bullet is sort of Squier's bottom level entry stuff. It's slightly thinner than a traditional Strat body, and that was one of the things that kind of threw a spanner in the works with my mod plans. I was going to get a better bridge for this thing because this has only got that real thin little sort of trem block. You can see I've taken the back cover off already just to put an extra spring in there. I'm going to put 5 in there as well just to make it real stable. And I never keep the back plate on Strats anyway, so that's long gone. That's somewhere in my studio. So yeah, I was going to get a new bridge for it, but because it's a Bullet, it has a slightly thinner body than a typical Strat. So obviously the traditional size Strat trem blocks would protrude from the back of the guitar. So I'm going to leave that one in there and just bolt it down. That's fine. Probably going to replace the bridge saddle because it's not the best bridge, but again, it's a £150 guitar. For what it is, it's pretty good, but I wouldn't use it as a tremolo system for various reasons. It's not going to be the most stable setup. But the Bullet line, as I was saying, is the sort of basic bottom level Squier stuff. but the quality on this does not feel like a £150 guitar. So this is predominantly aimed at beginner players. So if you buy one of these as your first guitar, it's a pretty great guitar to start with. I wish guitars were this good when I started playing, but as someone who's been playing for a long time, I would not hesitate to take something like this out. Now obviously in this condition with the, you know, the sort of the factory tuners and the stock pickups, I wouldn't gig this. But once I've tweaked it up a little bit and added a few sort of premium components to it, I think it's going to be a really good guitar. So there's going to be a follow-up video on that when I dig into what I do to this thing. But for now, let's just see what it's like out of the box, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be wanting to get your hands on one of these. They've been very popular. I know the first run sold out super quick, and I think there's a lot of anticipation around the second run. So yeah, like I said, act fast if you want to get one of these, because this is a stunning colour. You're not going to see too many Strats this colour in that sort of price range. You're going to have to spend big bucks if you want to get something that looks this great. So yeah, better act quick. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to run over this as a stock guitar. I'm going to show you guys a couple of the tones this thing can do and just play a little bit. We're going to have some fun. You know, I told you my plans for what I'm going to do with this thing, and it'll be interesting to hear if any of you guys are going to get one, or you've already got one maybe, and what you are going to do with it. So before we plug it in, let's have a quick look at the specs. So obviously it's a Strat style body, as you can see there. You can see that really cool metallic purple finish there in the close-up cam. It's super reflective. It would look really good under stage lights. We've got the usual setup of 3 single coil pickups. We've got a 5-way switch, which is nice. Volume control, we've got 2 tone controls. The middle tone control is for the neck pickup, and the bottom tone control is for the middle pickup. It's, as I showed you briefly, it's a spring-loaded trem, so I've got 4 springs in there to keep the bridge a bit more stable. I'm going to put a 5th one in at some point as well. Bolt-on construction, it's a maple neck with the skunk stripe up the back. Maple fretboard, like I said, the frets are incredibly well done. There's no sharp edges at all there. We've got the classic headstock shape with the Squier logo, and these die-cast tuners. The tuners aren't the best, but they're pretty stable for what they are. We've got the usual 6 saddle bridge there. So it's a very nice looking guitar, and I think it's going to be a really cool project. The neck is like a C shape, and it's a 9.5-inch radius, which is very nice because it just edges more on that vintage style feel, which I definitely prefer, and it's got 21 medium jumbo frets. Body is made from poplar, I believe, which is super lightweight. I mean, you can throw this guitar around and it's not gonna break your back if you do a long show stood up with this thing. It's definitely light. Some of that weight relief definitely comes from the slightly thinner body and probably the wood choice as well, but that doesn't mean it resonates any less than a heavier guitar. It actually sounds really good unplugged, so that's always my measure of a guitar. As soon as I get something I played unplugged, I just listen to the way it sounds in the room, and this does definitely have a good resonance to it. So when we plug it in, it should still sound pretty good. So we're going to get some tones now. I'm plugged into the Blackstar Studio 10 6R6 that you see behind me there. That's mic'd up with a Lewitt Audio LCT 440 condenser mic. I've got a bunch of pedals on the floor as well that I'll be switching in and out as we go through different sounds. But we're going to start with some clean tones. So start on the bridge pickup. So obviously a Strat bridge pickup is a pretty bright sound, so we sort of know what to expect here. So now we'll go to position 2, which is the bridge and the middle pickup. And now position 3, which is just the middle pickup on its own. Position 4 now, which is the middle and the neck position. This is my favourite Strat position, so as far as the way a Strat sounds, I always measure it by that position. So if this sounds bad, it's not a good Strat in my opinion. So that sounds pretty nice. It's not as sparkly as I like, but obviously once I put some better pickups in this thing, then I think it'll really come alive. Neck pickup now, so position 5. So we're off to a pretty good start here. The clean tones sound pretty good. Obviously the tone controls on the guitar are just up at full there, so I haven't changed anything. I quite like the neck position pickup, but I really like position 4. I think that's a great sound. Position 2 sounded pretty good too. One cool thing I did notice was it kind of does that reverse wound thing. I don't know if this was intentional or whether it's just some kind of accident, but in position 5, if I turn that up, you get a little bit of background noise. If I go to position 4, background noise is gone. Position 3, it's gone in position 2, and it's back in position 1. So that's pretty cool, because if you're gigging this thing, you've kind of got that reverse wound thing going on in positions 2 and 4, so it sort of curbs the noise as well, which is very useful. So now we're going to look at some overdriven sounds. I'm using my Analog Man King of Tone for this. I've got it set on the high gain side, but to sort of a medium drive level. So we'll start with the bridge pickup. So a Strat bridge single coil is never the most favourable tone. It's super bright and quite sort of ice picky at the top end. It sounds good though, it's a bit thin. I mean, that will probably be rectified when I put new pickups in it, but I never really use the bridge on a Strat anyway because it's just a bit too tinny for what I need. I really think a cool thing that most companies should be doing, and this is pretty standard as a mod, is one of these tone controls should tame this thing here because it is a little bit too bright to use on its own, but hey, maybe I'll put that mod in myself. So position 2 now, so that's the bridge and the middle. Position 3 now, so that's just the middle pickup on its own. Position 4, so that's the middle and the neck together. And finally, position 5, the neck pickup. So considering these are the stock pickups that come with the guitar, they're pretty well rounded. They sound pretty good for blues, they've got a pretty cool sort of clean tone. I don't think they're going to handle much more gain than that though, so I'm going to stack some gain now with the second side of the King of Tone just to see what this thing can do. Start with the bridge pickup. So again, there's that harsh Strat bridge tone thing. It doesn't really work for me on a high gain 10. Let's try position 2. Position 3. Position 4. And position 5, the neck pickup. So now we're going to stack another layer of gain on top of this. So I've got both sides of the Analog Man King of Tone switched on. I'm going up one more gain stage now and kicking on the MXR Timmy. So quickly run through the 5 pickup positions again with a bit more gain. This is the bridge pickup. Position 2. Position 3. Position 4. Finally, position 5, the neck pickup. There you go guys, there is the Squier FSR Bullet Strat in this really cool limited edition metallic purple, inspired once again, like I said, by Danish Pete. So as I said at the front end of this video, if you want one of these in this colour, you're going to have to act pretty quick. The first batch sold out very, very fast. The second batch is probably going to be around for not much time. Once it hits the UK shores towards the end of December, I think it's going to get snapped up pretty quickly. So if you want this great guitar in this really awesome colour, you're going to have to act very, very quick indeed. It's a great guitar, like I said. It's a fantastic modding platform. The neck is surprising. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is for the money, but honestly I'm blown away. It's a £150 guitar that it definitely plays like a guitar way above that price point. So for someone who's getting their first guitar with one of these, You can't go too far wrong. And even if you're a professional player or someone who just loves modding guitars, this is a cool platform to use that for. Now, like I said, I'm going to do a follow-up video on this guitar where I'm going to pretty much take it apart and rebuild it with some better components. I've got some new pickups already. There's a bunch of other stuff on the way, so please stay tuned for that. It's going to be pretty fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing how far I can push this guitar. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please let me know down below in the comments what you've thought. If you've played one of these, or you've you've got yourself on the waiting list for one, let me know. I'd love to hear what your opinions of them are. I think it's great. Like I said, I love it. I think for the money, it's incredible. It's £150 and it plays like a guitar way above that price point. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. And if you did enjoy the video, while you're down there, please hit that subscribe button and please hit the like button, because you guys subscribing to the channel really helps it to keep on growing. And I really appreciate all of you guys who have already subscribed and everyone who gets involved in the comments. It's great. I love chatting gear with everyone. So please keep those comments coming as well. Thank you guys so much. I will see you very, very soon.